Thursday morning at this time, we bring you Olsen On Law with Attorney Tom Olsen. Tom, good morning.
Good morning, Alan and crew and WFLA listeners.
And Tom, I'm glad I could be here with you this morning because I've been on hold all week with a jury summons from Seminole County. They keep telling me to report, to check each night and see if I need to report the next day. And this went on all week until last night. They finally said, okay, you're in the clear. You've done your duty. Go home.
Alan, thank you for serving your community, or at least trying to.
It's my pleasure and my civic duty as well.
Right.
Let's talk about a case the U.S. Supreme Court is going to take up, which involves who gets counted in the census.
That's right, Alan. Last Friday, October 16, 2020, the United States Supreme Court agreed to take up the policy of Donald Trump to exclude people living in the United States illegally from the 2020 census count. Never in the history of the United States have immigrants not been included in the census.
And they're going to adhere this case very soon, aren't they?
Absolutely. They have set the case on the fast track for November 30th. Alan, by then, more than likely, Amy Coney Barrett will have been confirmed, and she will then take part in this case. So it's going to be fascinating to see how it shakes out.
Yeah, and this the census question came up last year, right, before the U.S. Supreme Court.
In July 2019, the United States Supreme Court, while Ruth Bader Ginsburg was still alive and a member, ruled in a 5-4 decision that the citizenship question could not be included on the census count. So right now, really nobody knows how many immigrants or illegal people are living in the United States. President Donald Trump is asking that the Census Bureau provide him with those numbers, how many people are illegally in the U.S., and I don't know how those numbers will be provided to him. But the census count is so important because ultimately it will determine for each state how many seats they have in the U.S. House of Representatives, how many votes they have on the Electoral College, and how federal money is going to be divided between the states. So this is going to be very critical and important, and we'll find out November 30th. The court hopes to get the ruling by the end of the year or early January.
Any thoughts from your perspective how this might end up going?
Well, I do want to mention this, that there was another case that happened this past Monday, October 19, 2020, and it involved mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court had ruled that mail-in ballots would be allowed as long as they were postmarked by Election Day and received within 3 days. The Pennsylvania state legislature tried to put a pause on that. That brought it to the U.S. Supreme Court, and on Monday, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in 4-4 that they're going to let it stand. They actually had a tie. So, Alan, right now, we have 8 justices on the Supreme Court. You might say 5 of them are conservative, 3 of them are liberal. So for this particular case, Chief Justice John Roberts sided with the liberals. And because there was a tie in the U.S. Supreme Court, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court ruling stands, and that standing is mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania, as long as they are postmarked by Election Day, received within 3 days, they will be counted. So the point about that is it's just kind of fascinating that even though you might put these Supreme Court justices in a block of conservative or liberal, well, here we have Chief Justice John Roberts going over to the liberal side. So it's not a slam dunk by any means.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've brought that up before. These people are appointed for life, so they're immune at that point to any kind of political pressure that might be brought to bear. So they're free to go in whatever direction they want.
And Alan, let me say that's why I have so much faith in our court system. They are not having to run for re-election like politicians are. They can vote their conscience. They can look at the law. They can apply the law. And that's why at the end of the day, what's happening in the United States Supreme Court and the courts around the country is going to be so all important with this country and deciding how to interpret the laws. So I have a lot of faith in them and a lot of faith in Amy Coney Barrett that she will serve us well in the United States Supreme Court.
Tom, thanks for getting us up to speed. Attorney Tom Olsen will be back with us on Good Morning Orlando at this time next Thursday morning and every Thursday morning. And as always, you'll be answering listeners' legal questions this Saturday at 1 p.m. on Olsen On Law on News Radio WFLA Orlando. Tom, thanks very much.
Thank you, Alan.
And remember, for all of your legal needs, call the Olsen Law Group in Orlando.